In this video, I'm going to explain how to use the chain of responsibility documents. Now, first of all, where are the chain of responsibility documents? We start here at the home page and go down to applications or records, and document management is where all our documents live. Over here, we get a list of where all the documents, chain of responsibility or COR, that's where our chain of responsibility documents are. Now, there is quite a lot of documents in here, and I won't go through every one, but I'll give you a rough guide to what each one is for. The chain of responsibility policy is something that I think everyone in your business should sign up to. Okay, to explain, to say that they understand what the chain of responsibility is, what their role is. And look, this is also something that you may be asked about when you're filling in a tender. Okay, they may well ask for your chain of responsibility policy. So the policy says what our responsibilities are, what the customer's responsibilities are, and what the roles and responsibilities under the COR are. And the policy says that you understand that. Okay, so that's that one. Now, this document is the chain of responsibility, roles and responsibilities, which everyone should understand what roles and responsibilities they may have under the chain of responsibility. There are several different roles you can hold, and you can hold more than one within the same transport on any given day. You could be the consignor as well as the loader. And you might even be the packer. This explains what each role is, and I think everyone should understand what roles and responsibilities they hold. If we quickly open the checklist here, the roles and responsibilities checklist, that's how you can work out which role do you hold here, okay? And I think it gives a pretty good explanation. I think it's a good idea to read all these documents if you can. Now, there's a bunch of documents here called best practice documents, or best practice procedure. That explains to all your staff how to best carry out their role within any given transport event. I think these are ideal training documents. Let's just open up the loader, unloader, loading manager. The responsibilities can be very similar. If you've got a loading manager as well as a loader, the loading manager carries more responsibility. Now, this explains, as you can see here, who the loader or loading manager or unloader is, and how they achieve best practice is under the chain of responsibility. I think you should ask all your staff who may be involved in loading or unloading to read and understand this document, therefore be trained in it, and you should sign off their training. Okay? Remember, if you're going to do training under the chain of responsibility or anything, sign it off. That's the only proof you've got is having a signed document, okay? There's quite a few other procedures there which may relate to various people in your organisation. If so, they should read the procedure and train in the procedure that relates to them. Okay, I'm just going to go down to this one, the whistleblower policy. I think this is an important document with regards to the chain of responsibility. We all know what a whistleblower is, I think, but what exactly is a policy, a whistleblower policy? The policy says, basically, if you see a breach of this chain of responsibility, that you should feel obliged and safe in reporting it, okay? So if you're a whistleblower, if you have to say this vehicle is not safe to be driven and you have to report that to your manager, you should do that without fear that you're going to get in trouble for that. So I think a whistleblower policy is an important thing, and it's the probably protects the whole chain of responsibility. Now down here, the very last one that I'll show you is the daily run sheet. I think this form could be very easily used by a lot of turf growers, and I think you may want to use this. This is a form that I'd like you to get the driver to fill in prior to delivering your turf. So basically it's a daily run sheet. You fill in the date, ask the driver to declare his fitness for duty and perform a pre-start checklist of his vehicle. And down here you can put where the deliveries are going to be made. That is a really good compliance document. If you've got a contractor driving for you, I would ask them to fill it in. Maybe you take a copy of it if they keep the sheet, or you keep the sheet, but take a copy and keep that. It's a really good compliance document that ticks a lot of boxes. Okay, now there's a lot of other documents there that I'm not going to go through, but you should read them. Now, if you're not sure of how to use any documents, come here to how do I use Turf Plus? And when I open that up, this gives how to two separate things about the chain of responsibility, how to implement a chain of responsibility policy, system, I should say, which is a good explanation because chain of responsibility is a bit of a new concept to a lot of people. And this explains how you can implement the system into your organisation. Okay, so it's a good one to read and understand. And here's how to use all the documents. So it explains every single document like I've just done there. Well, I didn't explain all of them. This explains every single document in your system. Okay, so there's no excuse for not understanding this, I think, after all that. And that is how you use the chain of responsibility documents.